Hello to you all, and welcome to Pyramid Energy, a journey through intuition, wisdom, and loving insight. My name is Khunze. If you have journeyed with me before, welcome back, and thank you all for being here with me. The energy I'm feeling is coming through mostly through my heart, and it feels like there is a heat to it, almost like an overrunning of something, and I'm inclined to refer to it as a pain, a worry of sorts. There's a discomfort. There's a car outside that keeps hooting, and while I'm finding it annoying, at the same time that it started hooting, I heard, "There is no cause for concern." And as I was dealing with this irritation with the hooting, I realized the guy who's hooting, okay, there's a school just across the road. The person who's hooting is just hooting, okay? As if they want something to get out of their way and they're irritated, and so they're making a noise to cause an alarm, move people out of the way or move other cars out of the way. And then I heard deferred. When I look up deferred, it says the adjective deferred means postponed, delayed, or withheld for a later time or event. It can refer to things like payments, decisions, or actions that are put off until a specific time or until certain conditions are met. And so the sense that I get is that there is something that is worrying you, yet you're being reassured that there is no cause for concern. The matter that is in your heart that is bothering you, it's as if you know that you're aware that you should not be worried about it, but it keeps going. It keeps going, and you can feel it. This matter's been delayed. And what's actually happening is that this annoyance you're picking up is coming from an external energy. Okay? So it's not, firstly, the worry was not sparked by you. Something on someone else's end has been delayed. This matter relates to you, and you are picking up on the current. I looked up current. It says, as a noun, current refers to a continuous movement of water, air, or electricity in a specific direction. It can also describe a widely held idea, feeling, or opinion among a group. So someone is feeling, someone or something or some people are feeling slowed down by you. This is so strange, but I saw 33311. And it's as though the threes represent this stabilization of something. And the conditions that need to be met are represented by these two ones. And there's a sense of control or management around these two ones. And there is a divine energy of protection around these conditions being met. This is so strange. And I have 411. It's as if access to this information is privileged. 411 is like, it feels like the lowdown. And I see 43045, which the numbers are saying there's a matter, there's something that's waiting on you for this movement to take place. And so you on a level are privy to this information between you and I believe your spirit guides, okay, or the other power. And there are some things that you need to make decisions on because this matter is going to go your way. This is so interesting. So there is something blurry around your future, around your plans. On a 3D level, these plans appear sensitive. However, you've got yourself to a place where you kind of totally understand the language of your security detail. Okay, I'm here to reassure you. I have come here to reassure you so that you can settle, let your heart settle. So there are things in your future plans that you've left wishy-washy, okay? A section of your life that you have not decided on your desired direction on or about. And you're being called to start, and I actually heard this message yesterday. I was in the car, and so I didn't take notes or anything. That there are plans, they want you to think bigger. They want you to start planning ahead. Okay, so this is not to say this is exactly how it needs to go, this is exactly what you want, but they want you, given how many of your things are manifesting, and we've spoken about how quickly you're manifesting, and we've spoken about not everything being set in stone. Now, the evidence of your manifestations is enough for you to go on. And you're kind of still in the process of integrating this chapter, almost the closure of this chapter, and you're embarking on this new journey. You're already on the new journey. New mindset, new sense of security, new steadiness, okay? So you're well on your way, but now you've seen evidence of all past plans that you'd sort of put in motion, set in motion. But the sense I get is that you actually stopped there. You stopped there. And so while there's a lot of day-to-day planning that you're doing and a lot of staying in the present, they want you to remember where you were before this all started, and they want you to start planning. And they're not, right now we're not planning in the same sense where we used to plan way far ahead because our lives looked so different from what we wanted. You're manifesting very quickly. And so they're speaking to me about rest, okay, just to deal with this current feeling is rest, because your heart is in need of replenishment. There's I also saw a lot of water energy in your mind. And so there was also this sense that they are needing to pump some of this water out of your mind. That's how I saw it. I saw stagnant water. And it's almost like a natural body of water, yes, but the water's not moving so much. You sort of see the ripples. But then I saw this pump that's needed. So the pump wasn't there, but the pump is needed. Okay? And I feel like that's to drain the water. And I'm trying to feel into what this water represents. It's as if you have been searching for answers, how you can apply wisdom to solutions of certain problems or challenges that you're aware of. And so they're saying that you need to change how you're looking at this. We need to revert to manifesting rather than problem solving. This speaks to me about certain parts of you, so certain aspects of your life that you have changed in terms of how you approach them. Okay, so So many things are working because of your approach. So you have a new approach living in this new paradigm of yours. However, there are certain aspects of your life where the problem solving has been left in the old paradigm. And they'd like you to catch up. You just need time to catch up. You need rest to catch up. You need rest to remind your mind, your heart, your body about how things are done around here these days. I took a pause and I heard a question. And the question is, what would happen if you could get everything that you want? Because there's a gap between sort of what you want and admitting, saying that's what you want. And this is a very basic form of manifestation. I've worked through this form many times, and I'm feeling it now that what is happening is I'm observing this lapse in planning in a manifestation kind of way. This lapse in planning, it's as if you've left a gap between the you now that you've arrived at. Okay, so you're waiting for all the things that you've planned up until now to still settle and manifest. Fine, I see that. But you've stopped planning ahead. You've stopped manifesting further. And not to say you've stopped, you've kind of, for a while you had to settle into that letting go sort of state where you release all expectation, all of that. But they're saying that that is a phase of manifestation. That's a phase. So it's as if it starts off with a seed that's planted. And then, we water the seed. And we don't overwater it. And we trust that something will grow. And then one day it starts growing. And so then we are affirmed in that moment. And then you also go through those obsessive thoughts of wanting to check if the seed is still there, check if it's going to grow, all of that. But then you got to go through that phase where you learn not to overdo it and not to obsess over it, and then to release and trust. And then you go through the phase where it sprouts and then it starts growing, and you start learning how to nurture a plant so that it grows in a healthy manner. So you're kind of in that phase. Okay? But what you haven't done is continued to plant other seeds. And so you're starting off on a different level now. You're starting off a different base, because it's as if this stretch of manifestation was new to you. And so now you can do it. And so they're saying you need to plan. And the reason why now you need to plan is because the divine is waiting for you. There are things that are not happening. And again, these things that are not happening, that are frustrating other people. And I'm not saying you owe these other people anything. I'm saying you're at an advantage. I'm saying that you're at an advantage. Your wishes, your resolve, and your manifestation power is holding all of these things back. And so they're not saying you've delayed or anything. They're just saying, we were waiting for you. And this is very annoying for other people, because it's as if these other people have a sense that you enjoy some kind of divine protection. And I don't know whether they would refer to it as that. I don't know who these people are. But you've been dealing with them for some time. And I see that you do speak to God, speak to Spirit about them, about the matters, and you've seen that you're supported. But now it's as if something with the matter has changed. So something has changed with this matter. Please excuse my phone. Something has changed with this matter, and they're at a is the word stalemate. I think I heard they're at a stalemate. It's as if they can't change anything. And I don't know if they're aware of what they want to change or need to change, or the reason why it's not changing, but it feels like you caused glitches in the system. That's you caused delays and glitches. So one of the things they're pointing to is partly why your heart, why it feels this way. Because and it's rising from my solar plexus into my heart. So what's happening is that you're still dealing with the fear around this matter. And they're saying that the solution to this fear around the matter, first of all, the cause of the fear around this matter is to do with delays. But they're saying that these delays are waiting on you. Hence this feeling of heating, overrunning in this area. And so they're calling you to rest, plan, dream a bit. You see, you need to get into your receipt mode to do this. And they want you to think big. And they want you to consider time. They want you to consider that you are not subjected to the rules of time that these people that you're dealing with are subjected to. Okay, so we need you to rest. We need you to calm down, because it's kind of causing some brain fog. Disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. Please seek medical advice if you are concerned about any part of your body. In this restful state and through these confirmations, you'll be able to go back into your zone where you are powerful. And this need for rest is important because at the moment, the way your head is operating and running on this matter is not allowing you to see clearly. And so what you're doing is you're putting the cart before the horse. You are trying to solve a problem which you've been told is not your problem in this sense. So you're worrying about something where all you need to do is decide what you want the outcome to be, and to not focus on this outcome being related to solving the problem. You need to focus your heart and rest your mind in the direction of more aligned to the things that you love, the things that will make you feel good, the things how you want to feel, what is it that you want? It's very blurry. It's very blurry, and perhaps it's because you're still digesting this last phase that you've just been through. And so this is not so much a matter of worthiness as it is a form of fatigue. Yeah. You're tired. I know it's difficult at times to be told, to take a break and to rest. But one of the things that's making you tired is feeling like you've had to be the one to hold things up for yourself, keep things going. So you have to be the planner and the executor. And so when you rest, everything stops. And what they're saying to that is, you feel that way. You feel that way, and that's also due to the old paradigm and the way it works and the way you used to do life. And it's a big transition that you've made. It's a big transition that you've made. And so they're reminding you of how much support you have, and also that your spirit guides, know your context. They understand your context, and they understand it intimately. They know your circumstances, and they even know your perceived limitations. And I say perceived because they're perceived. And there's still a part of you that tries to fit certain things in a box. And you're reminded that, this idea of quality versus quantity, that output, production and output are not the determinants of quality. A manifester does have structures in place and knows how to receive. A big part of relieving you of this pressure is for you to now bring your masculine into the planning for the future. So you need to bring your masculine and your feminine, take them on a little bit of a drive into your desired future, and relax and allow yourself to receive your future plans, your desires. And when I say receive, I'm not actually talking about waiting for your higher self or spirit to deliver information on what you want. It's you. I just mean that your physical state needs to bring your masculine and feminine together, your ability to dream bigger. I feel that is your feminine aspect in this case. And the part of you that actually now starts to write these things down and engage them. To be an active participant in planning your dreams. In planning your dreams. And I believe that the last time you did this, you did it over a longer period. And partly this period took longer because there was no tangible sort of idea around the turnaround time. And so where you're sitting right now, you're manifesting quickly. And this is part of the process. They want you to see that. They're wanting to show you what you can do. And so they'd really like for you to engage in this process. Give it a shot. Look, I have 2, 2, 3, 3, 10. That is, make a choice. Allow it to come together, for the choice to come together. Your decision, your planning, you choose. And then watch it stabilize. Threes have been talking to us about stabilizations of visions and waiting for things to come in, and not necessarily in that waiting sense, but expecting something to come in and then watch it complete. That's what those numbers are saying. So they're wanting to actually show you what you can do out of this. And one of the things is that our body speaks to us in interesting ways and sends information in interesting ways to, a lot of the time, push us into rest if it's a discomfort, or your body's giving you signs that if you rest, you'll feel better, and you feel pulled to rest. It's just that you resist it, and because you're already needing your body to pull you into that space, that's also a sign that this information has been tapping on your shoulder for a little while now. And not in the form of please plan for the future, but perhaps in the form of please rest so that you can feel at ease and so that you can plan for the future, which was going to come up if you'd rested, but you haven't been allowing yourself that time to rest. They're asking you to have the courage to be generous to yourself as you plan. To really picture what you want and to work through, because this is people underestimate they underestimate I didn't want to use difficult as a word. They underestimate how difficult it is to actually get your plans onto paper. But it's in writing this down, it's in writing your plans and what you want, that you then begin to engage with those blocks. It's like as your pen starts writing that thing, or you think it and then you just have this resistance. It's like there's this force between the piece of paper and the pen in your hand. And you know what that resistance is? that resistance is the part of yourself that's trying to hold you back from what you want, because once you write it, it's in motion. And that's the truth. And so they're asking you to work through that resistance and get your plans onto paper. I believe that these plans already exist. You dreamed them before, but the humble part of you has not allowed you to grasp those things and say you're ready for them, as if you're just in the gratitude of the present moment, which is so important. And I commend you for that. I commend you for that. But we need you to get moving now. We need you to get moving. And so this is about getting past yourself. And they're reassuring you that there's no cause for concern about what's happening outside of you. If you can focus your gaze inward onto yourself, okay? Again, as you go inward, continue to affirm your heart on how far you've come, because you have come so far. Some of the effects that you are enjoying in your life are not even visible to you, is what I'm hearing. You can't even see the impact of your personal growth on your environment. That's not visible to you yet. And so right now, these matters that are currently sort of in a blurry cloud need to be clarified by you. And in this cloud, I'm seeing it's matters around, it's pentacles, it's earthly matters, it's material matters. And so think big. Please think big. Do it for one, do it for all. So please think big. And so this, I mentioned the humble part of you. That is where you feel like you may be asking too much. So this is going back to past lessons on your self-worth. And actually, it's not so much about your self-worth. Sorry. It's not so much about your self-worth as it is, yes, around the impact that this will have on your current relationships. There's a fear around that. It's holding you back. That's holding you back. And so that's something to work through. I see that you have let go of a lot of relationships that were no longer serving you. Okay, including mindsets, etc. And so now, the people that you value, you're worried about that. They want you to trust. The word they gave me is trust. When something good, this is the logic speaking now. When something positive, healthy happens in your life, happens for you, happens to you, beware of the people that react badly to this. And so the fear around this, when you think about it like this, the fear around this becomes irrational, because you do not know the outcome of that your prosperity will have on your environment and your relationships. You're not privy to that. But trust that the truth will be revealed. And remember that the truth is what you want. This takes me back to early days, working through my intuition, early days with cards, where I realized along the way, but my card reading, the improvement in my clarity and my depth of understanding, that came with the acceptance of the truth, which is right in front of you. And so where a lot of people struggle with hearing clarity is due to the fog that's created by desired outcomes. And so one needs to remove desired outcomes, because those often contain the things that keep you comfortable, the things that keep things that don't serve you anymore in your life. All of those things, they create the fog. And so when you release that, ta-da, the truth rises, because even though we're dealing with air and water and feeling here, the truth, it's like facts. It's actually like facts. And so the only person who can find truth, first of all, is you, truth through it. And so your only route to this truth is to release the outcome, because if you have an outcome that requires to keep a certain person in your life, then you're not going to be able to see the truth, because you're skewing it. You're skewing the result. And so this is taking me back there where I worked through that, and they're saying trust, because you are after the truth. And they understand that, this is beautiful, the message I'm getting now. It's reassurance. The people that care about you, the people that you really value, you don't need to be afraid of those people. Those people have held it down for you. Those people have held it down for you. I don't know if I can have a conversation with Spirit about all these emotions that they put me through, these readings lately, but at the same time, it provides such a comforting confirmation on what I've shared. So, my friend, apparently you have nothing to worry about. The only thing you need to concern yourself with right now, and I'm hearing a matter of days, is to rest, receive, remember how to play. You need your body to just rest. Honor your body. And when you feel ready, start listing those wishes of yours. 32175. You know, I'm going to take you through how I'm reading these numbers, because I keep pulling out random numbers that look random, but they're not. And they speak to me. 321 literally looks to me like slowing down. Okay? And 075, the 0 represents that void, that space, that restful space. And the 75 says, and watch divine change happen. This is how I've been reading the numbers. I love synchronicities and numbers and patterns. I do love them. But I've been learning to detach from them. When I see them, I honor them. But I don't look for them anymore. I have been warned not to look at them so much, because what happens in the process of manifestation is that when you start looking to numbers to confirm information or to confirm a knowing, you start to place the realness of the outcome on what you see. And so it sends a message out that you will only believe if something is happening if you get the confirmations. And so what it did for me is that it's been sending me more inward for confirmations, that sense of peace, that sense of knowing. And when looking for answers, to retreat and breathe and listen. And I'm finding that that is resulting in some form of growth within me, an inner trust on what is happening and what I'm receiving. We are very fortunate to receive guidance, words, numbers, feelings, messages from nature, to be able to read nature, to be able to read into the weather. I don't know how you all, I believe that you all, you read into these things, you pick up on these things. We are very fortunate to find ourselves in this place where we can view life through this lens. You don't need the numbers to confirm it. It is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it is beautiful. But you are, if you're listening now, most certainly ready to trust yourself even more. And with that, I'm saying trust the things that you want and honor your heart's wants. And they're also saying that this matter around, let's say now, let's call it with these relationships, let's call it redefining people's views of you in your relationships. And what they're saying is, this is not so much about other people redefining their views of you. This is more about redefining your views of yourself. And this is not something you have not done before. Perhaps it's something that you have not done before so quickly, which is what's going to happen. And so I'm saying all these things to help you along so that you can get that pen in your hand and that dream on paper. Because once it's on paper, it's on earth, darling. 3553. The card I have in front of me is soul assistance, soul guidance, unique perspective. The guidebook says, the card you have selected shows a beautiful celestial being named Althea, and she's wearing a stunning deep blue dress speckled with stars. A decorative headband wraps around her forehead, with a little dot near her third eye. There is a crescent moon and Venus symbol hanging from her bodice. A small plant or shrub grows out of her crown chakra. She's holding up a basket, the earth, filled with 3 playful and inquisitive kittens. A determined barred owl assists her while a second one watches from behind. A quartz crystal pendulum hangs from her hand and captures the attention of the kittens. The sky reveals a clear and unobstructed view of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains in New Mexico. Your message. We all have soul guides. Some people call them guardian angels. These loving beings have been part of your life since you were born. They silently observe all that happens to you, but they never partake in your life drama. They can't control what you do. They basically just point you in the right direction. You do the rest. You may have sensed them in the space between your thoughts just before falling asleep, or when you get through a really difficult situation. When you connect with your soul guides, you feel them fill you with light and energy. Althea is part of a network of beings from different planes that connect you to the whole of humankind. She's here to help you and humanity progress to heart-based consciousness. The dot in the circle on her forehead symbolizes the creative spark of divine consciousness that connects us all. It is also the symbol for Archangel Michael, who is a protector and slays that which can hurt us. Symbolically, he's here to help you quiet your ego and be less fearful. The 2 owls in this card are guiding you to something that you've always known but which you have forgotten. Your 3 cats are here to remind you that there is magic in the air. Maybe you will go on a promising new adventure. They advise you to go within, follow your intuition, and be confident. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. Like the cat, you might need to distance yourself from some people or situations. Sometimes the best cure for a problem is to step away from it. Cats are also associated with healers and healing. Their purring is on a healing frequency, so they can actually heal themselves or us with it. What is not well known about cats is that they help us with meditation and journey with us in our dreams. This may be due to the fact that cats love to sleep with humans. When they do, they assist us in our adventures. Now is the time to birth new, innovative ideas, trusting that there is a higher force helping you find your own unique perspective. What you bring to light now will shift the planet. Affirmation. I am here to uncover that which has been hidden. You know what I did? I pulled some cards. I have these cards in front of me because I was wondering if there was an extended to this reading. And I felt like there was. And these are the cards: Distant Horizons, Main Female, and Mature Man in reverse. And what I'm going to tell you now already, because I've got Moonology cards that I've laid out underneath these, this was more around the matter, what's been going on, and present moment, and sort of future. And these are the cards Distant Horizons and Mature Man in Reverse came out in an extended that I did a few weeks ago. And the clarity I'm getting is that the matter at hand, the one we've been discussing, because this does not warrant a whole extended, so I'm going to tell you now. The matter at hand is regarding this person in your life that you're obviously still in some form of connection. You'll understand what that means. This person that has made poor decisions many times based on your legacy. Okay, so if those words resonate, then they resonate. Main female being in the middle, that was not there when I did that reading. And the cards underneath, Moonology, say, okay, you and your loved ones are safe, new moon in Cancer. This speaks to the discomfort that's arising out of how far you've gone and how untouchable you feel. And it's just, you're currently out of this person's grasp. That's how they feel. Okay, so this is someone that was used to controlling things or whatever that is and what it means to you. Main female with a fiery climax approaches is that this is about to get even more uncomfortable. 4114 on the clock. This is about to get even more uncomfortable because of who you're becoming and you being the main female. And please don't focus on genders here. It's like from their perspective, they're about to start feeling your big dealness. Okay, so this is not how you see yourself. That's how they feel you. That's how they see you. And it's more around how they have controlled things up until now. So it's uncomfortable. And Mature Man in Reverse, it says a new romantic cycle begins. And I see the scales of justice here. What I'm seeing is things are being balanced out. And I'm not reading into this particularly in terms of literally a love relationship romantic cycle. This is more around the idea of your things coming together. This is justice. This is justice. And so any intentions that they may have placed on you are going to be revealed on their end through the scales being balanced. From what I know from the past reading, and this is very much speaking to me about that one, I'm going to leave the extended because if you haven't listened to that extended and you've listened to this video that far, I believe you should listen to that extended because you are headed into a very prosperous new beginning. The messages are very reassuring and you'll know if it's for you. But this is more around resting easy, giving you whatever information you feel you're not getting yet, to be able to rest and receive whatever you need to receive. And this is to say that the intentions that you're placing now that we've been talking about in this reading, this channeling, are important because they are what's going to set, you are setting things in motion. You're the main female. You're the decider here. You're the determinant. So you're not waiting for some external force to decide what you want and to decide what to manifest on your behalf and to, you're the planner and the executor. You just happen to enjoy divine support, which you deserve. So I'll leave the link to that extended. I'll clip it into the end of this video and into the description box below. Thank you so much for being with me for this reading. I had no idea what I was walking into. I had this feeling in my heart and I feel so much better now. A lot better. I am really grateful to receive these impulses through my body. This was difficult for a time. It was not always easy. And I'm leaning into the fact that I'm able to derive something out of it. And so more than anything, it's a gift and it's a sign to move. Sending you love.